welcome back to another video, or welcome if you are new here. My name is Jasmine and I make faith, lifestyle and bookish videos, and I share my journey with my chronic illnesses, the goodness of God in that, how God helps me through my journey, how He's in my journey, and obviously, as I just said, I should make bookish videos like this one. I cannot get my words out today, but we're going to get on with the video. So in this video today, I'm going to do a June reading wrap up. This is a little bit late because we are kind of in the middle of June right now, but I did try and film this last week, but I wasn't very well last week and I wasn't posting much last week or the week before, so this is my other video because I was really unwell, still not feeling the best, but I really wanted to get this filmed because I enjoy making these reading wrap up videos. I love making all my videos, my book ones, my faith ones and things like that. So yeah, I really wanted to get this video filmed and I just had a little bit of energy to film it today. So I'm going to do a little June reading wrap up, as I just said. I have some of the books here, most of them I don't have, so I'll just pop a screenshot of the book and I'll overlay it just so you can see it and read the title and stuff like that. So yeah, I'm just going to get into the video. I hope you enjoy it. I hope you get some good recommendations from this on the books that I share, and comment down below your reading wrap up for June and what you're currently reading. My current read right now is The Matchmaker Cafe, which I included in another video, so you've probably seen that before. It's by Lily Chen. It's a really cute little small town romance. It is so sweet and so cute and I really am enjoying it. I'm just going to grab my reading journal just so I can read out what I rated the books and we can just chat about them. So the first book that I read in June was An Overdue Match by Sarah Monzon, and this is it here. I've spoken about this book so many times before on my channel. I think I did it in like a favourites video or something. I can't remember, or I might have done it in a haul. I can't remember. Anyway, I have spoken about this a few times. So this is An Overdue Match by Sarah Monzon. Again, I'll pop a little description or screenshot maybe of it so you can see it properly, because obviously the camera's reversed and you can't see the you cannot see it properly. Oh my gosh, I cannot speak today at all. Anyway, so this was a really lovely sweet romance. I gave this one a 10 out of 10. I absolutely loved it. It's a beautiful Christian romance and it's basically about this young girl who works at a library called Evangeline, and she has just broken up with her fiance. He called off the wedding because she lost her hair to alopecia, which I just think is awful. Like, he sounds like really not a very nice guy at all. So basically she obviously has lost her self-confidence. She's feeling really low and down about things. So she works in the library because she loves reading, but also when she's working at the library, she matchmakes. So she looks at the people's checkout history and matches them up together. So matches the guy and the girl together based on the checkout history. And then basically this main character here, he's called Ty. He's a tattoo artist in the area. He's got a bit of a bad boy reputation because it's a small town. Not really many people look like him because he's, you know, covered in tattoos, things like that. And he walks into the library, he sees her, he obviously really likes her. And then he says, look, oh no, she says to him, look, I'm going to need some help with matchmaking. So yeah, he's a bit more like involved in the people of the town and stuff like that. So she says, can you please help me with matchmaking? He says, okay, I'll help you with matchmaking if I can have a date with you. So she agrees, and then it's just about their kind of like story together, and it's really sweet. And this guy is actually so sweet, even though he kind of has this bad boy reputation. Everybody actually does love him and he's super sweet. And he actually did a tattoo, which I thought was a really beautiful part of this story. Basically, this woman had lost her hair to cancer and he did a tattoo on her head for her, and I just thought that was so beautiful. And then when he learned that she had alopecia, he was just like, oh, I'm even more in love with you now. And oh, it was just such a beautiful story and I really liked it. Like, I've been through chemotherapy before, not for cancer but for my lupus. I was on a chemotherapy treatment and I did lose my hair. Thankfully, and I'm so grateful to God, it's grown back now and it's still growing back slowly. And yeah, I think it was just such a beautiful thing to include, and it really made me tear up and it was beautiful. And yeah, this is just a beautiful story. I've probably not explained it very well. I'm not the best at explaining books, but I really hope you understood that. And yeah, it's just a really beautiful story, and I just think if you love a small town sweet romance and you really like cute Christian style romance with obviously out any explicit scenes. It's super clean, and yeah, it's just a really beautiful book. And this is part of a series. It's from the Checking Out Love series. I can't remember what the other books are called, but I'm definitely going to be getting them because this writer is amazing. As soon as like I was reading this, you were completely poured in, and it's definitely one that I'm going to keep on my shelf and read again. So yeah, this was a 10 out of 10 and I loved it. The next one is The Agency for a Scandal. This is one that my friend actually kind of gave to me to read. This is part of a series. This is book 1. I'm not sure what the series is actually called. All I know is it's by Laura Wood, and it looks like this. It's got a beautiful floral spine, and then it's got the main character on the front. I really enjoyed this. I'm also going to be borrowing the third one of this book because you can read the books as standalones. You don't have to read it as in order or as a series, but basically the third one really caught my eye, and I was like, oh, I really want to read that one. So she said, well, would you like the second one as well, or do you just want the third? So I said no, definitely the third, because I like the first one, but the third one I think I'm going to basically really love. So basically I'll read out the synopsis. It says, Isabel Stanhope is keeping a lot of secrets. She's head over heels in love with the Duke, who doesn't know she exists. Her family's fortune is lost, and then there's the job at the Avery, an investigative agency run by women that specialises in blackmailing powerful men. When Izzy's secret crush becomes embroiled in her most dangerous case yet, the two must work together to uncover a sinister plot, unmask a villain, and definitely not fall in love. That would create quite the scandal. So yeah, this was a really, really great book. It was kind of set like in the old season London. I just really, really loved it. And it was like the perfect mix-up of Enola Holmes and Bridgerton. So if you really like those two shows, you're going to love this book. Kind of set in that era. Really, really beautiful book, and I really enjoyed this. I gave this one a 9 out of 10 because I wasn't like, oh my gosh, that was amazing, but I did really like it, and I can't wait to read the third one because that one for me is definitely just, I can't remember fully what it's about, but you know when a book just intrigues you and you're like, oh, I think that one's going to be my favourite. So yeah, I'm definitely going to be reading the third one, and it's just a really pretty book as well. I love all of the floral details on each of the chapter pages, the start of the chapter pages. I think it's so pretty. So yeah, if you're into this kind of thing, I would recommend this book, and that is what I read. One of the books I read in June is This Kingdom Will Not Kill Me. So I'll pop that here because I don't have the book with me anymore. Now I had really, really high hopes for this book. It is by Ilona Andrews, and I had such high hopes for it because basically I saw it floating around on reviews on Instagram. A lot of people were talking about it, saying it was really, really good, and then I went to go and research it on Amazon to see what it was about. And it's basically about a young girl who loves reading fantasy books, and then one morning she wakes up in one of the fantasy book series that she's reading, and she has to try and survive and make it through and save the people of that kingdom. And yeah, I was like, wow, this is going to be incredible. That is a book that is just so up my street, what I love, and I was like, I kind of want that to happen to me. I would love to end up in one of the fantasy books I'm reading. So I was like super excited to read it. It looked really, really good. However, when I read it, I just wasn't as blown away as I thought I would be. It didn't live up to the expectations or the hype that I'd set it at. And for me, I think it was just too much political fantasy for me, and I'm not a fan of all of that. I kind of prefer, if you know me and you've watched my videos before, I love things like Powerless, where they're fighting, where there's dragons, where there's all of that kind of stuff, where there's trials and competitions. And I thought it would be more of that, like she would have to compete in trials, there'd be dragons and all of that kind of thing, and like a really cool like male main character. And I just thought it would be more that rather than like more political fantasy, and it became confusing, you know, when you're kind of just reading the book and you're really having to concentrate rather than just getting lost in the story. That's how I found it. However, when I've actually looked at more reviews of it, people are saying it's actually really good and they continued with it, so I might actually pick it up again and read it. So yeah, I actually gave that one a 2 out of 10 because I usually don't like DNFing books. I don't like not finishing them. I like to power through, and I love to not read it and put it down. However, with this one I did, and I was speaking to my mum about it, and she was like, don't just read a book because you feel like you have to, like read a book because you're enjoying it. Don't waste time reading a book that you're not enjoying. So I gave up with it, and it just wasn't what I expected or what I was hoping for, really. So it was really sad, but like I said, I may try again, I may not, and I would still recommend it because I feel like it is a good book and it was such a beautiful cover and it was a really cool story. So yeah, if you do like that kind of thing, I would definitely recommend it, but just maybe do your research on it more and really make sure that you're reading into the reviews before you read it. The next one that I read was Our Infinite Fates by Laura Steven. Again, I don't have this one with me. I actually gave this one away. So I'll pop it here. This one was a really lovely story. I actually gave this one a 6 out of 10. Again, it wasn't one that I absolutely loved. However, I did love the premise of the story and how the story played out and the ending. And it was basically about this girl who every year on her 18th birthday, she gets killed by this guy who is hunting her down. He's like this assassin basically who is hunting her down. And yeah, every year on her 18th birthday it happens. So it's kind of just like a revolving door situation of a story where it just keeps happening and she has to then work out why it's happening, who this assassin guy is, because he disguises himself as a different character in each part of her life. So for example, she could wake up in like 1948 Russia and live that life, and then the same thing would happen to her on her 18th birthday. But then in her present life that she's also living, her sister is really unwell and needs stem cell treatment, so she's trying to like save her sister and work and stay alive so that she can give her sister her stem cell. And yeah, I've not explained it very well, but that's the premise of it, and it is really, really good and I love the story. However, I think it was just dragging a bit in the middle and I was a bit like, oh come on, I need this to be a bit more. Like I wanted to give up, but I didn't. I persisted with it and it was good. Loved the ending, loved the start, but you know, in the middle of the book and you're just like, oh come on, like let's just carry on with this and get it going. And yeah, I will put the synopsis of it here, so that you can understand what it's about, because I definitely didn't explain it very well just then. But yeah, that was that one. And yeah, I semi-enjoyed it, semi-didn't, so I'll give it a 6 out of 10. The next one that I read in June was Survival Show by Juno Dawson. Again, I don't have this one with me. I can't actually remember what I did with the book. I think I put it in the charity shop pile, because again, this one I did not enjoy at all. I basically saw it when I was going for treatment at the hospital at a bookshop, and I saw it on the shelf, and the cover intrigued me because it was bright pink, it looked really cool, and it was basically like a thriller. And basically this girl has entered a competition called Star Maker, and it's like a reality TV dancing and singing competition, and she enters it because her brother was really sick and in need of treatment and medicine, but in order to get the money for that she needed to win and enter this show. So it's basically like X Factor meets the Hunger Games, because when these contestants enter the show, all these girls enter it, they put them into a group, but each week a contestant gets eliminated. When they get eliminated, they actually get eliminated. That's why it's called Survival Show, because they have to actually survive. So yeah, I was like, wow, this sounds like really, really cool. And yeah, but then again, with the book, I just found that it was dragging, not much was happening in the story. It was really, really slow. So yeah, I actually gave up on that one and I didn't persist with it because I was so excited for it, and again, I had so much high hopes for it. But then I was just like, nothing is happening, and what's on the synopsis is not happening in the book. Nothing is happening, and it was just taking ages for actually stuff to happen. Like, she entered the competition and then nothing was happening. Like, she wasn't even singing, the girl group didn't form, nothing was happening, and I was just like, okay, this is actually getting really boring now. So I sadly didn't finish that one or rate it very high. But yeah, again, would I still recommend it? Probably, if you like that kind of thing, like Hunger Games and X Factor and reality TV type shows. But it just wasn't for me and I didn't enjoy it. Next books that I read was actually a series, and these are the last few in my June reading wrap up, and I read the Caraval series. Now, I have book 3 and book 1 here, but I cannot find book 2 anywhere. I don't know what I've done with it, where I put it. I put it in some pile, some charity pile or some other book pile by accident, and I can literally not find it anywhere. So that is kind of annoying, but it's okay because I can still talk about it. So this was Caraval. I absolutely loved this. This was so good. I absolutely loved it. Such a good fantasy. It really just pulls you into the world that you're reading. And if you don't know what Caraval is about, I will read it. It says, Scarlet has never left the tiny isle of Trista, pining from afar for the wonder of Caraval, a once a year, week-long performance where the audience participates in the show. Caraval is magic, mystery and adventure, and for Scarlet, her beloved sister Tella, it represents freedom and an escape from their abusive father. When the sisters' long-awaited invitations to Caraval finally arrive, it seems their dreams have come true. But no sooner have they arrived than Tella vanishes, kidnapped by the show's mastermind organizer Legend. Scarlet has been told that everything that happens during Caraval is only an elaborate performance. But nonetheless, she quickly becomes enmeshed in the dangerous game of love, magic and heartbreak. And real or not, she must find her sister before the game is over and before her sister disappears forever. So yeah, I thought it was absolutely incredible. As soon as you read this book, you literally get pulled into the whole world of it and you can just picture it, imagine it, and it's just so beautiful and amazing. I've got the first one in hardcover because one of my lovely family bought me this book. She asked me what would I, if they could buy me a book, and I chose this one in hardcover, and I was going to get the rest in hardcover. However, the legendary hardcover and the finale hardcover were really expensive. They were like £20 or more, whereas this one was £12. It was a lot cheaper, so I was just like, oh, I'll just get the rest in paperback. And it still looks really cute. Like, I think these editions are really beautiful with the striped spine and like the really pretty coloured fronts. So yeah, this is the hardcover. It looks like this, and it's got a beautiful like front page like that. The front cover looks like that, and that's from one of the shops in Caraval. And yeah, I absolutely loved this series. I thought it was incredible. My favourite book in the series was definitely the first one. And I also love this one as well. A really good ending to it. I do think there is another book in the series called Spectacular, but I'm not sure if it's like a different character's story or something, or if it actually is like a final ending to the series. Let me know in the comments, and let me know in the comments if you've read this series and what you thought, because I would love to know. And yeah, I absolutely loved this. Gave it a full 10 out of 10. Absolutely loved it. I thought it was amazing. Yeah, those are all the books that I read in June, my little reading wrap up. I really hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you loved it. I hope you can understand my explanations. Sometimes I'm not the best at explaining books, but I'll get there. Sometimes nerves take over a bit and I'm a bit like, oh, what am I saying? But yeah, I hope you really enjoyed it. I hope you got some good recommendations. And I think actually I'm going to speak about one that I would definitely recommend and my favourite of June, because I always record in my little reading journal my monthly favourites. So my monthly favourite for June was An Overdue Match, and that is one that I would recommend out of all of the books that I have been talking about today. And I'm going to do that in my reading wrap-ups. I'm going to do like one that I would definitely recommend that you read, and that is this one. It is so good, and it's so cute as well, with the little library pictures and then the books on the back here. Really beautiful story, and if you're a Christian girl, you're going to love this. So yeah, I really hope you enjoyed this video and you got some good recommendations, as I said, and I will see you in the next video. I hope you have an amazing week, and God bless.